I'm Jason Ball, Australia's only out and proud Aussie rules footballer and ambassador for Beyond Blue. In 2013, Melbourne's Bent TV produced Queer Young Thing, a project designed to give LGBT youth a voice, and it turns out that queer youth have plenty to say.
So in Albury we have a pickup point and it's on the river, and you drive up in your car and another person drives up in their car, you flash your lights twice, they flash their lights twice, then one of you gets out of the car to the other car, and that's how you hook up with someone.
And which river is this?
I think I'm the only doctor worldwide who actually has a position statement on butt plugs and how long you can wear one. So 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Well, I kind of did mine in stages. By the end of year 7, like way back at the end of year 7, I gradually started telling kids in the schoolyard when they came up and asked. And I was just like, instead of saying, no, I'm not gay, I was like, yeah, I am gay. And then probably the start of year 8, my parents were like, look, Jono, I'm just going to ask you, are you gay? And I was like, yeah, I am gay, Mum. And she was like, oh, okay. I'm like, can you please not ask any questions? Because it's kind of awkward for me to talk about this. And she was like, yeah, okay. So why do you think you're gay? I asked no questions. Oh, okay. Have you had a boyfriend? Me? No, not yet, Mum. No.
Was it just like, do you think you got like, I guess, a little bit shy just from the attention on it?
Just talking about it being so... I wasn't sure how they were going to react or how they were reacting. I was just like... Oh, I just want to steer clear of that until I officially know that you're okay with this and there's nothing icky going on, because I wasn't sure how it was going to go with the rest of my family. Not so much my mum, but like with my younger brother and sister and my dad.
And when you did fully come out, were they accepting or...?
Well, I told my parents before my brother and sister knew, but my dad wasn't quite sure how I could be gay. But Mum was pretty cool. They said they'd pretty much known ever since I was little. You know, I wanted Barbie dolls instead of, you know, Matchbox cars and things like that. And like I got a Barbie doll for my 12th birthday, so I was like, oh, okay.
Now, Lisa, you work as a day job in an adult store, so you've got sex in your face all the time.
All the time.
Now, do you also know about safe sex practices, say for lesbian sex?
Yeah, well, I didn't actually know what a dental dam was until like last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do.
And the dental dam, that is, I guess, akin to, say, the female condom.
Yeah, absolutely. Heterosexual couples use it as well. It's mainly used for oral sex, so they're very, we don't really sell very many of them at work.
Yeah, I can't imagine like people going, oh my God, I need a dental dam now.
Yeah.
What exactly, okay, I've never used one, I'm not going to lie.
It's pretty much a sheet of latex that's just placed over the vagina.
Okay, so, and then... That's like
it's like a barrier.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I guess one thing, condoms, they come in different flavors. Are they like dental dam licorice flavor?
There are. Yeah, we sell blueberry and raspberry at my shop. So, yeah.
And why do you think, I guess, people aren't using, I guess, dental dams? Because you still can catch an infection from oral sex.
I guess it's the inconvenience. It's the same as why people don't use condoms. Mm-hmm. You know, it's an inconvenience of having to be like, oh, hang on a second, I'll be back.
They're also harder to find. Like, I got told to use a dental dam, but I don't know. Well, I just found out you can get them from sex shops, but I don't really.
And you can buy a packet of condoms for $8. One dental dam is $8.
Oh, wow.
Like, so it's crazy.
And for that, like, $8 for, like, one dental dam, I'm going to say they're not reusable.
Definitely not.
So you can't just like flip it around.
Probably not a good idea.
I suppose in this segment, we are talking about sex, and in, I guess, our current landscape, there's not a lot of sex ed for, say, same-sex attracted. Yeah. How would one, like, I guess, use a dental dam? Like, do they just chuck it on there, or is it a bit of delicate?
Basically, it's just like a barrier, so it's just over the top.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Dinner served. Now, can you share with us any examples of things that have been said to you that have been otherwise off the cuff, but still nonetheless hurtful?
I wouldn't say any direct experiences of discrimination, but I think sort of being not a part of the group is discrimination. Like being excluded from, I guess, the social environment is the biggest experience of exclusion. On placements, definitely just people being really quite weird around me. Those kind of experiences that just kind of are off. Like you can tell when people are friendly and you get to a level where you're interacting in an authentic way, and it's just never gets quite there.
Well, I've got quite a unique story. I actually have a parent who's also transgendered. My father transitioned to living as a female when I was 16 years of age, and it was great to have someone there to be able to come out to and feel comfortable and sort of lead me in the right direction with support groups and that sort of thing. And I mean, it took another 10 years after she came out for me to come out, but it was amazing to have that support and have that ongoing support now.
Sean, can you tell me a little bit about what it is to be genderqueer?
Well, for me, genderqueer is basically my gender just kind of moves around. It's a little bit annoying because I can't put out my clothes the night before because I'm like, I wake up in the morning and figure out where I am kind of gender-wise.
Right. So it's not being listed as one binary gender. Would that be an accurate description of being
Yeah,
genderqueer?
we're kind of in the middle, moving around.
And what about gender fluid as well? Mila, would you be able to explain gender fluidity? If I can even say it.
Yeah, I just think gender fluidity is sort of where you come into like either or you sort of, or you even blend masculine and feminine ideals together or representations together. I guess another term sometimes is perhaps androgyny or pandrogyny or things like that. So that's a whole other aspect as well. But yeah.
Yesterday I was shoe shopping, and I walked into a store and I got these like really high boots, and I was looking in the mirror and I just made like an off the cuff comment about being genderqueer and having like these really feminine boots with leg hair. And the store person was like, genderqueer, like I've never heard of that. I've heard of trans, and then we just started this big discussion, and I love informing people.
I think every gamer at one stage has tried Grindr before. I think there's more and more apps coming out all the time. I definitely find with Grindr, it has, a positive and negative effect when it comes to using it. I think some people can be very genuine or truthful or honest, so therefore you get to meet some really awesome people and friends and whatever you want to get from that. And I think other times people can either actually lie about their age or different things. So I think it has like that positive and negative aspect of it. So
absolutely.
Depending on how truthful you're going to be when you're using it.
Oh, when you think you're talking to somebody, and then when you catch up with them, you're like, wow, you better have a great personality. That's
yeah, exactly. I think also like some of my friends who are they're actually Chinese or Asian, I know that a lot of them get quite bullied from the app. So as soon as they find out their race, they actually get blocked or deleted straight away. So that's a little bit sad that they don't get to know their personality.
That's actually really quite awful, because we exist in a community where we have discrimination and persecution ladled against us. And then I guess for the gay male community, for us to be able to turn around, or have people turn around and say, no Asians, no Indians, no fatties or femmes. I mean, that's disgusting. That's pretty, I guess it's hypocrisy at its finest.
What was the question again? Sorry,
that's okay. How do you identify as, do you identify as gay, straight, bi?
Gay. I've only been out for like the last 3 years. Again, that's just due to religion and family issues. Yeah.
So, I guess as a Buddhist, how does homosexuality fall into Buddhism?
Well, growing up in a Chinese family, we weren't actually told about the gay community. We don't actually talk about that kind of things. It was something that you learn from school. We don't even speak about sex you know, in school, if you go to a Chinese school, we don't even learn about puberty. You just learn it as you grow old.
Being a baby gay, so someone who's just newly come out as homosexual, I've had this idea all my life that I've wanted to have like a wedding, you know, and marry a man and have, you know, a family and children. And coming to realise that, you know, I'm gay, it feels like, I know that that's, you know, still a possibility and I can still have that, but it feels like, you know, it's not what I've come to expect that I've wanted, and that's something that I'm still actually struggling with, just, you know, dealing with not being able to have exactly what I have wanted.
Now, Cassie, where do you fall into our LGBTI rainbow?
I guess I'm lesbian.
Guess you're a lesbian?
Yeah.
I guess lesbian.
Well, I just, I don't know about, I don't really like that word, because, you know, guys get gay and we get an extra special word. Like, why? Why does that happen?
Yeah, true. Well, do you find even, I guess, the idea of having to put a label on the sexuality, do you find there's a bit of pretense in that?
I don't know. I guess I kind of like labels in general. I like to identify myself with them, but it's just, I don't know. It's just the gender thing that I don't understand. Like, why does it have to have a specific...
True. That's very interesting.
Can we do a bit of a sound check, please?
Sound checking.
1, 2, need to poo.
4, 5, farts alive.
6, 7, turd heaven.
8, 9. I can't think of anything.
Beautiful. And in 5, 4, 3.
Look who's on Queer Young Thing.
It's me. And him. It's us.
Cool. Let's do another one.
Yep.
We can actually tell us who he is. Dylan, talk, Dylan.
I'm talking. I'm always talking. When do I shut up?
Hello.
Is it still? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? How do you like me now? Matthew, my God, Matthew Mitcham is coming on Queer Young Thing tonight.
Matthew Mitcham with Dylan Adler. Hey guys, I'm Matthew Mitcham, Olympic gold medalist, and you're watching Bent TV. I think certainly in the GLBTI community, drugs and alcohol are quite normalised because they're just so prevalent, they're so endemic in our community that I think there's a lot less stigma about using them, and so it's it's a lot easier to, I suppose, get into that sort of stuff because it's not frowned upon as much.
I only came out to my friends in school, and some of them were a bit weird about it because one of them was extremely Christian and could not accept that there was something different. And another one was convinced that I liked her. Like every time we'd hang out, she'd be like, "So,
that's the worst.
Do you like me?" And I'd be like, "No." And the more you ask, the less likely it is that something's going to happen.
I love that though. Just echoing on that sentence. Do you like me? Are you sure you don't like me? It's like, have I ever brought it up? No. So think about it. Maybe it's your personality. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now, have you, while you were in your younger years, did you also have that same thing? Like when a girl would say, "Oh, do you like me?" Or when even today, do you still encounter that?
Yeah, all the time. It drives me crazy, and it drives Kayla crazy as well.
I think it's worse for me than it is for her. So.
But yeah, all the time, people, girls ask, "Oh, do you find me attractive? Have you ever liked me?" And it's just like, you're not that great. You're not that great.
You're so straight down the line. Nah, mate, not you. I'd like to know, what are some tips for op shopping, if you have any? Sean?
Oh, you got to do the sales. The 50% off sales at Savers is fantastic. It's massive place.
Is it what do you do, I guess, like for endurance when you're digging for treasure? Does anyone have any hot tips?
Look for the labels first and then just run.
Look for the labels and then run. Ready, set. That was not the sound I was expecting to come out of this thing. Jax, do you have any tips for op shopping?
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to find an op shop that has an accessible change room. It's one of my big things. And if it doesn't, just kind of start taking off your pants right there near the inaccessible change room, and that kind of gets staff to come and give you a hand. So that can always be a bit of fun, bit of education happening as well.
Oh, so last night I was at work and it was boring. So I found an eye patch and it had like a pirate eye patch. So I went around work and made everyone call me Dr. Pirate Captain. And I refused to answer unless they called me that, and then I would only respond with R. And I did that for like 3 hours. And then I took my patch off and I couldn't see properly for like an hour because all the lights were hurting my eyes. And since I work in a psych ward, the nursing staff threatened to commit me.
Last summer I went along to Tropical Fruits Party, and I work with a lot of Indigenous youth and families in a professional capacity, and my Facebook page is it's like a public one. And I did this, it was for a sexual health promotion, which is which is really important, which is really fantastic. But it was in context. It was at sort of a radical queer party, and I was like woohoo! And so they had this big sort of billboard that was like Tom of Finland with a giant penis, and there was me sort of next grabbing onto the giant penis, and then it went up on my Facebook page, and I was like, oh my god, delete.
Seeing as you've got those awesome skates on, Ash, why don't you go first?
To maintain my physical health, I love to keep active. So I participate in roller derby, and I make sure I do that for quite a few hours a week.
How many hours do you put into it?
Probably about 5 to 6 hours a week.
Okay, cool.
Two training sessions. I skate with the West Side Derby Dolls, and they've been so great to me. Roller derby is just such an inclusive environment. So for someone who's transgender like me, who I struggled to enter into a team sport, I tried to enter into a women's AFL here in Melbourne, and I wasn't able to find a club, and I would have had to play with men, which for me was a little bit confronting. So playing
and
roller
also
derby was
looking
great.
at the size of you, I doubt you'd really want to go crash tackling into someone, say like Dane
Yeah, I've got no problem with physical sports and contact sports. It's just that's just a little bit too far.
Yeah. So what got you into roller derby? Because roller derby is, I've got friends that do it, and they're so sweet outside of roller derby, just like yourself, but then put them into the skates and the hot pants, and they are psychotic, like frothing at the mouth, hell spawn. Do you get into that? Like, do you turn into a bit of the aggressive?
I think so, yeah. It just sort of overtakes you. It's such a good outlet.
So, with just going back to your younger brother who's in school, what has he encountered with his own journey with his sexual identity?
He had a lot of trouble during sex education.
I can understand that one.
First of all, they asked anybody in the class was gay. Obviously, they're young children. They're not going to say they asked.
So they just like busted out with that.
Yeah,
just
is anybody gay?
Right.
And then when nobody answered, they said, "Oh, great, we don't have to cover that." And my brother is openly gay, so everybody knows that he's gay. And all the boys after sex ed had finished followed him around and threw some names that aren't very nice out there, bullied him until my mum went down to the school. And the principal told my mum, well, he chose to be gay. So, he has to deal with some discrimination.
That is...
He's got to grow a thick skin.
Ash, I've been eyeing off your ink for this whole time. This is beautiful. How long have you had that for?
I've had it for about maybe a month and a half now. And I got it... I always wanted a tattoo, and I just sort of wanted something that had real meaning to me. So I finally decided... after seeing the autumn leaves this year, I thought that I used them to represent the transition through sort of regeneration from death to life, and move through the colours of the seasons.
That's beautiful. And it's a tattoo that you can show off. I've got a fair few tattoos, but they're not for showing off purposes, or at least not on this capacity. Starlight, I'm loving the accessories. Well, and you've got yourself some ink too.
Yeah, I've got lots of tattoos all up and down my arm.
Yeah? Can we have a gaze?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, nice. We've got a full sleeve.
They're all a bit sort of interstellar, but there's me dancing, coming down from outer space.
Oh, very nice.
And this is my lucky star. It helps me find my way.
Oh, beautiful. I'd like to know, because you just said that you were an international student.
Yeah.
You started off university in Delhi. Now, what was studying at Delhi as a gay man like, in terms of coming to La Trobe University, which has such a supportive and inclusive LGBTI community? What were the key differences?
Yeah, I would say the university at Delhi did not have a support structure.
Were students allowed to be out?
Yeah, of course, but that was a personal decision. It wasn't, supported by. There weren't counsellors on campus, helping you out and stuff like that.
And did you come out while you were at university in Delhi?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and it was cool. I had great friends, and it's a very complex. It's a very complex issue in a place like Delhi. Things are changing dramatically.
I watched a documentary on virginity last night, and I found out you can buy fake hymens.
I saw your post on Twitter, and I was just like, "What? Why would you want a fake hymen?"
A, they're disgusting, and B, you can get infections from them. Why would you sell them to people? That's just horrible.
That's gross.
And I'm just from my lady friends.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that would be the last thing they'd want to get back.
Yeah. It doesn't really go anyway. Like if you had a hymen,
but we need it from different ages.
had it tear the first time, and you stop having sex for a while, it's probably going to
so the vision
go back to where it was because it stretches. It doesn't go completely.
So it grows back.
Break.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
Do you know any differences between, city queers and them country queers?
I think people just seem to associate us with Mardi Gras more and think that if you're queer in the country, you wear bright colours, you're punk, you're rebel.
Yeah, because
lesbian,
we're not
you've got to have short hair.
Rainbow.
Yeah,
just rainbow.
We just have to wear rainbow constantly.
Yeah. It's like over-the-top stereotypes, do you think? Is that something that you would agree with?
Yeah, for sure. And I think to find that if you're gay, you love everybody of that sex. So, you've got to sort of be careful of the gays because they're going to hit on you, no matter who you are.
What was your favourite present, say, from Christmas, years 13 and under?
Mine was probably a Barbie doll that I got instead of the bike that I asked for. I was really excited because I was convinced that I was getting this bike, and I woke up to a tiny box at the end of my bed and got a Barbie doll, which I threw in the bin because I don't like Barbie dolls.
Money well spent. What about yourself, Cass? Do you have any cool or exciting presents?
From when I was about 3 until I was about 6, all I wanted for Christmas every year was a Lion King kite and a chainsaw, and I never got them until I was the last birthday, and I finally got my chainsaw and Lion King kite. I was so excited.
So what exactly was it about the chainsaw? I'm just trying to put the two together.
I think my friend might have had a toy chainsaw, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and I wanted it.
What better compliment than with a kite? And Kayla, how about yourself?
I can't think of a really good present that I got, but I do remember the year that my brother got a personalised motorbike with his name and his birthday on it and everything, and I got a hairdryer. I was so jealous.
That's gotta hurt. For me, I always wanted a spider monkey, and I used to ask Santa for a spider monkey, and until the Christmas tree would go down, I was like, it's coming. It's coming. And then Mum just had to bust out with it, you're not getting one. It's not real. I was like, ow, that hurts me. What are some misconceptions that you find that people have about anxiety, or people who are going through episodes of anxiety?
I think that people don't really understand how common and okay it is to have. I think that particularly with, younger people, they don't feel comfortable talking about having anxiety and will try to hide it and deal with it on their own. And that can just make things a lot worse. Yeah. I think being able to open up and talk about your anxiety is the best thing you can do to fix it.
Zoom right in. I can hear you, Andy.